But let's get straight into it then, because this brings me to
Yes.
something. Well, you just mentioned the Murlocs, and obviously you're in King Gizzard, and
Yep.
you seem like a group of people, a group of musicians who won't let a pandemic like this slow them down. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, for sure. Like, Gizzard's never stopped being just fast paced as it always has been. So, yeah, we're just being, it's just sort of a way to keep us sane as well, because after being on the road and all that and doing so much for so long, to have such a halt is, yeah, it's definitely just been the only thing that keeps our head on our shoulders.
Mm. Because when and this year is the 10-year anniversary, I think, from the start of the
Yeah.
band. So with this kind of forced, at least you can tour, so this forced break in a way, did that bring back memories of back in the day? And
Yeah. There's yeah, I was just even just going through the tracks in the album before. There's a song on the new album, Odd Life, and it's sort of like a nice reflection on like, yeah, like, you know, last however long of touring flat out and doing whatever been doing. Yeah, it's definitely have no regrets, that's for sure. 2019 was a real busy year for me, and so were the last few before that. So yeah, it's been nice to sort of just appreciate everything we've been able to do, really.
if you look at, especially then the last 4 to 5 years that have been quite busy, how have you seen the development of the music and your own creativity over that time? Because it is that fast paced. Can you kind of keep track of your own developments as a player, as a musician?
Yeah, for sure. I think I always remember like Stu saying stuff to me when we're, starting to do each album and it was starting to get different and weird and whatever. And, I guess we all kind of had our own other projects, but like Gizzard was his baby. So he would always be like, oh, maybe I want to start another thing or do something else. But then he just sort of, he always just was like, well, why not just make Gizzard whatever the hell I want it to be? And that's just what it is. So yeah, that's always just been the nature of the group. So That's why, yeah. And I'm always just like, all right, guys, let's just go back and do a rock album now. Let's just jam or like whatever. And then it's just, then before we know it, that just gets sort of stale, because whenever you try and just recreate something, it never really works out that well. So it's good having, things sort of change and develop into unknown territories.
Right. And how important is the fact that you have the Murlocs and to have that other side of your own creativity
Yeah, it's super important, because like I feel I get a lot from both. Like I can, I think if I was just in Gizzard or just in Murlocs, I'd be frustrated or, whatever. It's sort of refreshing to have a different group of friends, like in both bands, it's all my best mates. So it's a nice big family thing. And we've done tours together, and like, all other guys in Murlocs are good friends with everyone in Giz as well. So it's all just a natural thing. And it's sort of just like, I don't know, the last like year or so that I've been trying to like encourage, everyone else in Murlocs or whatever to write more, so I can try and contribute more to Gizzard in ways I haven't before. So,
well, that's interesting. Yeah. In what ways are you looking to contribute then?
I guess on like this new album coming out, and like even the like fishing for fishies and whatever else, like I've just been just way more involved, I guess. Just I've always been around when the music's been getting made or in any stage, even if I'm just there, just hanging out. I'm just sort of always like, just waiting for my little moment to throw a little harp line in or do anything. But this time it's been like, I feel like the whole isolation thing was almost beneficial for me, because I could sort of sink my teeth into ideas that were, just demos or like just early progressions or something. And I could sort of get a chance to like have a bit more input before it all just, got sorted out itself,
Well, then is it because of the pandemic that the approach to writing a lot of the songs was quite different? Because
Yeah,
you
for
are
sure.
more separated in a way.
Yeah. I guess like Stu's songs have always been, he's always like nonstop workaholic. So he'll sort of like have so many ideas, and yeah, I think that's also been beneficial for me because he'll have so many ideas. I'll like be always checking the like whatever we're updating it on, you know, like checking all these demos and shit and be like, oh, I really like that song. He's like, oh, you know, I didn't really like that one that much. Like, do you want to have a go at writing some lyrics for it, or like, you know, singing it or doing whatever. So yeah, it's good having a constant music machine to like collaborate with, for sure.
And in this on this album in particular, "Straws in the Wind" was one where you contributed quite a bit as well. So let's just jump into that song then. What was the kind of where did that originate? That song.
As corny as it sounds, it was like literally the start of like COVID.
Okay.
Like it was like March this year. Stu was like, it's like one of the first songs that sort of was formed for KG, and yeah, it was in Some of Us, which happened to be the first three singles, which were like, because it's sort of the case, you know, you get so attached to these songs that become a thing before the rest of them do. But yeah, that was one that he asked me to just write for, and I know whenever he says that, it's like I haven't got much time, so I better get cracking. So it was kind of not, you know, being at home stuck inside your house. I just like, and you know, it was at the height of like when toilet paper was like gold and everyone was going chaotic. So it was kind of hard not to like reflect on the times a bit. So, but I feel like I got away with. I've been trying to figure out if anyone's picked up on it, but not really, you know. It's like I feel like there's so many of my songs are about like impending doom and stuff anyway, or so is Gizzard. So it's like could be about climate change anyway. So
well, that's again something quite interesting. Then why does your creative mind gravitate towards those kinds of themes?
I think there's things that need to be highlighted, and I don't know, just naturally, like, you know, just something you can like you watch from afar, and then as you get older and you keep using it as like a inspiration for your, you know, writing tools or whatever. Yeah, it's good to like try and do stuff and be more eco-friendly and I don't know whatever else. But yeah, I think it's just the nature of it. I also just love a like happy tune with a sad metaphor too.
Right. And then, I mean, you've also, as a band, you've also supported kind of the bushfires that happened in Australia and all kinds of things. So that kind of other aspect of making music, that the being part in the world and then contributing in that way, is that important to yourself and the band?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. We've definitely been trying to do a lot more of that. And you know, having this break, it's been nice to like branch out and do more things like that and just be a bit more aware and, you know, mature with those sorts of things. But yeah, it was definitely felt really nice to be able to do those Bandcamp releases and like a live show here in Melbourne and generate a whole bunch of cash to a bunch of those fundraisers. So charities and stuff. I mean, so yeah, that was a, you know, pretty confronting period into what became a lot more confronting in other ways, I guess. But yeah, what a start to the year. But it was also a nice foot forward in like what we've always kind of wanted to do, I guess, as well.
And well, you mentioned kind of "Straws in the Wind" was one of the first songs that formed for the record. How does kind of the creative process or the songwriting process then continue from there on? Does the rest of the record then come quite quickly after it?
Yeah, it was all developing at once. Like everything's like naturally, it's not sort of like just doing over one song or whatever. It's sort of, you know, multiple songs and sort of even sometimes multiple albums at once. You know, like it can get a bit out of control for sure. But yeah, I guess we just really honed in on that stuff early in the year, and yeah, it was cool. It was a different way of doing things, that's for sure. I think like me and Cavs, the drummer, were like maybe the last two out of everyone to like be like in the last, like it was probably like me in the last 2 years or whatever, less than recording myself. Because like, you know, Stu and all our friends, everyone could always just record and do everything. So, you know, having like COVID and stuff, it sort of, you know, gave us a kick up the butt to like get better at that. And Cavs was like able to record his drums really well, which was like a huge plus, because I think that was the ultimate sort of like decider. And once that was all coming together, it was like, okay, sweet, this is the album.
Because when you arrive at those places, then is it just organic the way certain albums take shape, and then, for instance, in this case, the way the drums were recorded and things? Do you kind of as a band think about it beforehand and plan a little bit?
Like songs like Honey, were like I remember early demos of like Joe and Cavs and Stu jamming that, and it was like electric and stuff. But you know, then it all just then like naturally COVID hit. And that's why there was probably a lot more acoustic sort of bass songs and that, because it's just hard to capture like that live rock sort of sound initially. But once we got like better and better at it, I think there became a few more songs that went down that path. But I think we've all just been waiting to like get back in a room and do that kind of stuff when the time's right.
And in particularly with the sonic landscape, there's, and I don't know, I'm not technical enough, but the microtonal kind of approach to the guitar. Can you talk a little bit about this? Because I'm not technical enough to kind of understand it completely, but...
You're preaching to the choir, so okay. I won't be able to give you much either, but yeah, it's just... I know, literally Stu was just fascinated with a bunch of that music, and so was Joe, and a bunch of more or less. But he just sort of was really keen on the whole world of microtones, and then just kind of came up with a sort of scale in like an F sharp sort of type thing. And so then I got like, for example, like they got all these guitars and they had them tuned to F sharp, and then I was playing a harmonica in B, but I had all the notes on harmonica, like, so there's like there's a couple notes that are like tuned to that to those microtones.
Okay. So
it's like the normal F sharp scale with a bunch of microtones in it. But that's pretty much more or less the idea, I guess. But I've definitely been back and forth with like a dude in Australia making me harmonicas and stuff.
Okay.
Trying to
but that's quite
my head around it as well, and triple checking everything and stuff, and then
because you have been playing the harmonica quite a long time. Is it important for you to have find these new ways of playing and find these new just to keep it fresh in a way?
Yeah, for sure.
So like much music as well.
Oh, I think if it wasn't for Gizzard and like, I was just doing the same like blues rock album, it wouldn't have probably lasted this long. I don't know, like, doing the microtonal stuff was really interesting. I haven't really found a way yet to like bend the notes in a bluesy way as such to like, so it's all just pretty much just straight like open harp. Because once you start bending it, then it doesn't, you can't hit those microtones the way that the harp is tuned. But on this one, because we did a bunch of songs like written from keyboards and stuff. There's a few that are written in different microtonal scales and not just F sharp. Yeah.
Okay. And this microtonal. I think it's associated with Arabic music and more Turkish sounding instruments. And this is something that in 2017 on Flying Microtonal Banana is something that kind of was already a little bit there. Can you talk about the connection between those two albums, if there is one?
I guess there wasn't a huge one that I was aware of until like I just noticed fans the other day being like, "Oh, it's the Wind from FMB to start the new album or whatever." And yeah, I guess that was all just like, you know, little subtleties that Stu probably just, you know, added into it to make it all flow and conceptually like linked. But yeah, when you hear the album, it's the similarities are definitely there, but it's the batch of songs are definitely a lot more varied. That's for sure, as opposed to FMB.
And with it, as a band and a musician who releases as much music as you do,
yeah.
So I'll just round off then. But for a musician who releases as much music as you do. What is, so to say, the ambition not just of the band, but you personally, in terms of creativity and what you want to do with this whole music thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Like you're saying again, to like look back on the last 10 years. At the moment, I'm feeling somewhat content. Like I don't know. Okay. Like I feel, you know, there's a few more things from KG that we're working on that are already like going into realms that I never thought would venture into. So really, at this point, I don't know. I'm keen to just get, you know, master my craft. I feel like I've been almost just faking it till I make it for the last few years, and just being a harmonica player to like vocalist to like playing tambourine or doing whatever I could. I've been enjoying trying to learn like the saxophone and, you know, get better at piano and other stuff like that. So continuous exploration in a way, just musical exploration. At this point, it's just feeling, adapting to my own, I guess, and just trying to like, yeah, get better at what I do now, I guess.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right, Ambrose, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me, and I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, you have a great day. I have a great day.
All right, thanks.